Lately I've been staring at the dark. Turn my inner demons into art.
What's going on, guys? Today we've got this beautiful blue G80 in for a single turbo kit today. This car is completely bone stock, which means we've got stock turbos, stock manual transmission. And when your G80 looks like this, you're definitely gonna want one of the best turbo kits on the market. This is the RKAutowerks top mount kit for S58. It's a twin gate setup. This is RK's tubular manifold. Right now, we're getting the stock turbos taken off this G80. You could have swore that Hussein said we're not a BMW shop.
We don't do BMWs, bro. Infinities.
This is a funny looking Infinity. We've got these tiny little turbos.
Hell yeah. Gotta swap the one piece from OEM quick disconnect to a V-band, which is over here. This piece here. So how these switches go, we're repeating a little bit. V-band, this charge pipe here.
We're gonna be running a Garrett 35 1050, ideally making around 600 to 700 horsepower. These G80 M3s eat that for breakfast. To give you a little better angle, if you look through this little gap, this is our V-band connection that we're working on. One of our favorite things about these S58 motors is once you've got these stock turbos out, you actually have so much room to actually work here. All we gotta do to finish up this side is throw our DME in, and then we can get to the fun part, installing the turbo kit. When you get wastegates from TurboSmart, it'll come with one spring in here, but we've gotta add these additional springs to make the boost. Now that we've got our exhaust manifold all bolted up, we've already gone ahead and taken apart our turbo. This bad boy's been getting the G35 1050 Garrett turbo on it, so we've got the hot side installed with our fittings all wrapped up. You're gonna wanna make sure that you do this without the cold side on, so you actually have room to tighten up your fittings. The last thing you want on a kit like this is to be leaking oil all over it. Pause. This exhaust piping should come with your RK kit, and it's actually going to install right up here. This is our downpipe connection from our turbo and our two wastegate dumps. So we're going to get this bolted in.
I'm just doing this as a hobby.
Everything looking good?
Yeah, no leaks.
So if you see any smoke ever come from your turbo kit after installing it, it's usually going to be from the oil from your hands, but if it continues to smoke after, make sure you check for leaks. We just got the RK single turbo kit installed on this G80 M3. Dyno time.
That's a 605, 610 humidity. That's bad.
Made the beam.
6.
7. 6, 7.
Get out of here.
My bad.
Good shit.
598.
Hell yeah, less boost, I mean that same power. Yeah.
Oh, my ears. That's enough. We actually just finished dyno tuning this car on wastegate spring only. Our customer had a little bit of time to drive the car on the wastegate alone, but if you look at this dyno graph, you can see that this turbo kit spools up super quick. With this car being rear wheel drive and manual, we're gonna add a little bit of boost control. So today we're installing a Motiv Reflex. We like to use this cubby here on S58. Our customer does drive this car a good bit, so he does have an intake filter on this turbo.
If it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Yep. So this is a manual G80. So what that means for us, regular plug and play harnesses will not work on this car. Nick is underneath the car right now, getting our sensors plugged in on our Motiv harness from Precision Raceworks.
So we have to hijack charge pipe sensor, crank position, which is in a horrible spot back here, and then cam position, which is on the top side. You hijack those three sensors. But the usual thing we do is on the automatic cars, front of the DME, but this being a manual, it doesn't have that, so it doesn't have the power, ground, can high, can low connection we usually use. So on this car, what we're gonna have to do is run 2 wires through the firewall to the BDC module, which is under the dash, tap can high, can low, get power, ground, and should be good as new.
This is our manual transmission. Come up to the top here. That connector with the brown and black is what connects to Motiv. So if you can see right up there, those are our wastegate dumps. Those are gonna get recirculated back into this exhaust.
You just had AC water drip on the microphone. Oh.
On a stock turbo setup, you have an electric wastegate with a factory connector. Motiv requires all these different connections to be able to communicate with your stock DME so that when we control the boost, the car has all the additional information. So when you have an external wastegate like this one, nothing hooked up electronically, you install a second computer that will control a max solenoid, and the max solenoid will control how much this wastegate actually opens. Alright, we've got the Motiv all connected. This is the exact same setup as before, but with boost control. So we're gonna bring this car onto the dyno and show you guys the difference of tuning a car on wastegate versus with the Motiv for boost control. We just had this car on the dyno without any kind of boost control. When you have Motiv Reflex, you have a few additional features. Alex is not one of them, but he can help teach you a little bit about this. What are we using the Motiv for on Daniel's setup?
We're only doing boost control, external wastegate control on this car as of right now, because there's no PI, there's no ethanol sensor or anything else. Previously it worked, but there's no boost control. So when you get on throttle, boost just comes in like there's no ramping in where like half throttle boost. You go half throttle, it's full boost.
You think we're gonna make more power with like boost control now?
Maybe, but I don't want to make more power on this.
Yeah, because it's stock clutch.
If anything, I want to make 600 at the very top end, and that's it.
All right, we got it strapped up. It's time to calibrate the dyno before we start making some pulls. 591 horsepower and 523 foot-pounds. We're keeping the torque down, but we're bumping that horsepower number up. You can tell each time, pulling out a little bit more power at the end. This car is on a stock clutch, so we can't really go too crazy on the torque or we might kill it. The green line is the run we just did, so as you can tell, we're reducing how much power we're actually making down low to help our customer hook up. But if you can tell, we're making way more power up top, and that's where our Motiv boost control actually comes into play. We're already making 610 wheel horsepower and 530 foot-pound of torque. We've got our new revision on the car. We're cleaning up a little bit of this first part right here. We're gonna try to make it smoother, just so that it's a lot easier for our guy to drive.
Yeah, this is good. Now you can actually have two maps, like a daily map and then a high-powered map too. This guy's gonna want to drive around corners, not just straight lines. He's gonna go to the canyons and back roads. If traction is an issue, go into map 1. It's only gonna make 530 horsepower and like less than 500 torque. Map 2 is gonna push the torque a little bit more, right at the edge what we're comfortable with on the stock clutch. And then of course it's over 600 horsepower up top. I've tuned enough of these cars to know that 520 torque on this dyno is pretty much the limit, 520, 530. Because I have cars in the real world that actually run these kind of numbers on their stock clutch. And they say like, you know, anything past that, they start slipping, and especially when it gets a little colder,
right.
Cars start to get a little spicier. You can actually see the before and after boost control. We can have more boost up here and less boost down here. Versus before, it should be locked in at 26 pounds of boost no matter what. At the very top of right here, we're hitting 28 pounds of boost, past 6,500 RPM. Down here, we're only at like 22, 23 PSI boost versus 26 before.
If you don't have any type of boost control, this is how this RK single turbo kit naturally wants to actually spool up.
26 PSI springs. Now we have 21 PSI springs. Oh, what happened here? You hit the... Oh, look at this.
It's because bro slammed. Check this out. It's got some super nice wheels on this.
Good looking lip. It's got a V shape. You like this one? This is pretty. I don't think you like this one. I don't think you like this one. We'll try the next lip and we shall see how it looks.
It looks good though.
It does look pretty good.
All lined up. Alright, so we've got the lip pretty much done. A lot of the stuff lines up perfect, so shout out Daniel for buying a nice lip for us to install. We just finished up Daniel's single turbo kit, and if you haven't been able to tell yet, we've been doing a ton of BMW stuff around the shop. Racebox started off working with Nissan and Infiniti with a focus on the VR30. We're going to be starting a new series with Alex's Red Supra. It features the Gen 2 V58, so make sure you stay tuned. But in the meantime, we're going to be dropping a bunch of content on S58, V58, but we're going to continue doing VR30 because there's some huge development coming out for that platform as well. We're wrapping up our budget build on our Infiniti Q50 as well, so if you've been waiting to see what kind of draggy times we drop with that car, we're going to be doing that as well soon. Thank you, Daniel, for dropping off your G80. We had a blast putting that car together from start to finish. And keep your eyes peeled because this year, we're going to be going crazy.